let's put it to you this way. Donald Trump is probably the worst president ever in U.S. history. There are so many other presidents that have been so bad, have been pretty bad, but none as horrific, none as mind-boggling, none as destructive as Donald Trump. After Robert Mueller, the former special prosecutor, said that, if we had intent to say that he didn't do anything wrong, we would have said so. It almost says, wait a minute, you did a crime, you must do the time. Well, you must step down from the presidency, pretty much. The president is not stable, to say the least. And what goes on later on is he's over in Japan talking to Shinzo Abe, the prime minister, and he pretty much didn't care that North Korea was firing missiles over the Sea of Japan. I mean, Shinzo Abe is going like, please, Mr. Trump, I know this is terrible for us, but if he hits us with these missiles, we could not have a country anymore. No, that's not my problem. He's not attacking the United States, it's not my problem. Besides, he's one of my best friends. Really? It's bad enough that he's friends with a dictator like Vladimir Putin and another one like Kim Jong-un. He's just following their lead, and it gets worse. When hearing about Special Prosecutor Robert Mueller, he decides to stretch the boundaries a little bit, as if it hasn't been stretched enough already. He's pretty much saying, well, look, what he's looking for is high crimes and misdemeanors, and I've done nothing. So what you're telling me is that you have to commit a high crime or a felony and a misdemeanor before you are charged with being a president, or charged as a president. You have to have both a felony and a misdemeanor, because I don't think that's how it works. Not to mention that there's something called a felony. Well, no. If you're caught with a felony, if you're convicted of a felony, you are serving jail time regardless of who you are. I mean, if misdemeanor, it's a fine or jail time. Most likely a heavy fine, but that's it. So for Donald Trump to say, well, it's either high crime, felony, or a misdemeanor and a misdemeanor, he's like saying, I'm above the law. Oh, you have all felonies on me, but no misdemeanors? Ha! You have nothing then. Oh, you have just misdemeanors on me, but no felonies? Forget it. It's not going to affect me. Seriously, this is what it is. Donald Trump doesn't care about the rule of law. Doesn't care about the code of law. In fact, a lot of his administration, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Betsy DeVos, Matt Pruitt, Kellyanne Conway, they have all committed felonies. They've all committed violations of their laws, emoluments, hatch acts, you name it. And what they're doing. Here's what the White House is doing. We're not doing anything. That's your problem, not ours. Yeah, but that is it. You committed 5 murders. Well, whatever. I mean, that's. You want to ridicule her? Go ahead, ridicule her. We're not going to do a thing about it. Donald Trump has already proven that he's above the law, and that is dangerous. There is a high majority that is telling these people, that's telling Congress, you have to impeach him. You have to invoke the 25th Amendment. And then we hit a snag because Nancy Pelosi, House of Representatives Speaker, is saying no. Donald Trump is practically begging Nancy Pelosi to impeach him. He's goading her to do the 25th Amendment. And she's doing, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. For lack of a better term, Nancy Pelosi has become Donald Trump's bitch. I don't know what else to say. Nancy Pelosi is too afraid to invoke the 25th Amendment. And why is she scared? What could be preventing her from calling out his bluff, saying that, oh, you want us to do the 25th Amendment? Fine, let's do the 25th Amendment. Let's get everyone together, let's make a vote. And if we vote that he needs to be impeached, let's impeach him. And people are saying, well, I mean, Robert Mueller didn't impeach him, except Robert Mueller, except Special Prosecution, doesn't have that right. That's Congress to do so. So, why would Nancy Pelosi not try to get the 25th Amendment to go to work when almost 70% of the country, at least 70% of the country, say this guy needs to get out of here? Now I can think of a couple things. Farron Cousins of the Ring of Fire was thinking that this is a long game, seeing how much she wants to be pushed before she actually enacts it. I don't see it. I'm sorry, Farron, but I don't see it. Another thing is that if they do go through it, and the House of Representatives pass the move to invoke the 25th Amendment, that's going to be turned down by Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, in which he'll say, I'm not going to bring this to a vote, and the 25th Amendment's dead. It doesn't actually mean that they can't do the 25th Amendment again. They can still try again and again. It has to be proven that he can run the country for the 25th Amendment to not be fulfilled. So yeah, there's that possibility that Mitch McConnell is going to kill the bill before it's brought into a vote in the Senate. There's even Republicans who are saying that Donald Trump has to go. One other thing is that what if he is impeached? Well, the 25th Amendment has kind of a curve that may or may not benefit Nancy Pelosi, and that is that Vice President Mike Pence can assign a vice president, which also means that Nancy Pelosi will not be next in line. I know it's kind of a strange little loophole for the vice president to go on and say, "Oh, now I'm president," but I'm going to move up Roy Moore from Alabama to be my vice president. Roy Moore, the accused child molester, is thinking about running again for Senate in Alabama after losing to Doug Jones back in 2017. But the big thing is that if Nancy Pelosi doesn't do this, doesn't make that attempt to invoke the 25th Amendment, it's going to look bad for Democrats, in which the Republicans can then retake the House of Representatives, and it will all be a disaster, and it will all be blamed on Nancy Pelosi. Because right now, Nancy Pelosi is the one factor that can bring this to a vote. It could not pass in the Senate. It cannot. It could possibly be not voted in the Senate, be turned down by Mitch McConnell. But if they don't make an attempt, it's like they're not even trying, and that's going to look bad for Nancy Pelosi, who is, by the way, an establishment Democrat. She is more of a centrist. It's already bad enough that we have Joe Biden, former vice president, willing to work both sides, willing to reach across the table when the table should not, when the bridge has already been destroyed. This is all in Nancy Pelosi's hands. If she does this, if she does invoke the 25th Amendment, they could actually save America. Even if Mitch McConnell says, I'm not going to do it, even though he's been in office for over 30 years. He has pretty much destroyed the Americans, pretty much destroyed America on his own. Not Paul Ryan, not Ted Cruz, not Sarah Palin. Mitch McConnell is the enemy of the state. But Nancy Pelosi is too cowardly to do something about it. I'm not going to regret this. Until Nancy Pelosi does something, she is Donald Trump's bitch.